Well, I've been waiting and waiting for that courgette to ripen. We looked at it the other day and it looked perfectly fine. And in a matter of just a couple of days, it's completely gone. Good for nothing. That just shows you how quick things can turn when we enter this sort of weather. So that is certainly no good for nobody. I'll just chop that up, I'll put it in compost bin with everything else. There's not really much or anything out there left to harvest. We've got some really small cabbage heads left, but we have just froze about 8 bags of cabbage, so that's brilliant. That's going to keep us going for quite a while. But the ones that are left, they're very small, so I don't even think they're worth bothering with, especially considering how much stuff I've actually got in that freezer now. Bags and bags of fruit. We've got packs upon packs of homemade tomato sauce, cabbages, carrots, potatoes. I did last at carrots the other day, chopped them into nice little chunks, and we got 2 or 3 bags of those as well. And obviously we've got lots of carrots on going here. But for outside, not much or anything else. I'm still trying to clear a bit of a path on that side of the garden where that greenhouse has fell down, and I've been putting a border around one part of that area using some sleepers, because I think what I'm going to do with that next year is I want to make some kind of a framework that's tall enough to walk in and put netting all over it and just fill that area with brassicas, because it's just a never-ending battle against butterflies as we go through season. And then you're taking the net off and then you're putting it back, getting rid of all those old leaves from below your cabbages, which can be a bit annoying sometimes, as much as we like growing vegetables. And I just think it'd be better if we had something we could actually walk into and just keep all those brassicas in that one area. At least that's the plan. But as for everything else, still not much or anything happening. I watered these the other day and they're still wet through. But you can see now that we've got a bit of growth on those lettuce seedlings, and that's that pak choy that I was actually asked about quite recently. Is the time to grow it with them being so small? And to be honest with you, maybe not. But the seedlings, they're trying, so we're just going to give them a chance. And what I've basically been doing is separating them all, because these cells all had about 4 or 5 little plants growing in them. So I've just thinned them all out, so we've only got 1 in each cell now. And they've got true leaves as well, so we'll just see how they get on. We know that Chinese cabbage does prefer growing in cooler temperatures because it is pretty prone to bolting. It's also a massive favourite of slugs, so there's quite a lot against us when it comes to Chinese cabbage. And I'm not sure if these will come to anything, but all we can do at this time of year is wait and see. That lamb's lettuce is also growing very slow. We've had a few yellow leaves coming on it, which I keep taking away, but it has put on a bit of growth there. But considering how long we actually planted this, which is quite a few weeks now, it's a very slow growing plant. But I already knew that to start with, so we'll just see how they go. I think there's 2 or 3 individual plants in this, so I'm aiming to get leaves off it if possible. The garlic's grown a little bit more. Like I say, everything's just really slow. One of my main concerns is this carrot container with all these just keep flopping over. And the ones across there, if you can just see them on camera, they're all stood up nice and proud. But these ones just continuously keep falling over. So it makes you wonder if there's a bit of a problem, or that's just the way they're going to grow, and now they're concentrating on growing as bigger tap roots. Hopefully. I have noticed a few at top starting to go a bit yellow as well. But you know what I'm like with carrots. I want to pull a few out now I've froze all those that were in the fridge, and then see if we can get some more to keep us going for another week or so. But once I start, I can't stop. So I'm not sure. I might take a few out today and just see what size we've got compared to a couple of weeks ago. But meanwhile, I'll just show you this area that I have started to clean up, where we're going to be putting these brassicas come next year. And that's in this area down here. You can see I've used some sleepers to make a border there. We'll take it right across there, and then I'm going to go across that back as well. Once I've moved all this, I still haven't moved that greenhouse, but I'll get round to it. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then something comes up so I don't. But that is a big area. Those sleepers are 9 feet long. So we've got an 18-foot square by the time we've done, somewhere around there. So that's going to get a lot of brassicas in there. But as for everything else, it's about finished really. I haven't pulled those up yet. We've harvested cabbages from there, and I just let slugs and munch to keep them distracted from anything else. And that being these ones. But as you can see, they're not forming heads now. This one has gone all misshapen. So I don't think there's anything in there that we can actually use. So that's going to be a bit of a clear up, I think. Get it ready for next year. Still growing strawberries on these plants. Amazing how long these have been producing, all year long, right up until now. Still got some there, that one's been eaten. Something's gone right inside that one. I think the little crit's still in there as well. But we've had a good share of strawberries this year. That's another one that's gone. They don't take long. But I think these plants are now definitely coming to an end. But they've been brilliant. We've been getting strawberries off them all year long. And then I've got all this to clean up. I've moved a couple of those hoop tunnels, because I might be using this area for that greenhouse next year, because you get a lot more sun against that back fence. So I might be moving it to there while we use that for his brassica part, because that don't get as much sun, so that's going to be better, especially for cauliflowers. Might stop them bolting for 1 year. We've just got the one hoop tunnel that I started to strip down, and that's those little cabbages I was talking about. There is a bit of something on there, but not a lot. I might just take them up. I could probably make up a bag of frozen cabbage out of these small ones, but they are very small, and that's another one that we've already took. But the garden definitely needs some work. We need to cut all that grass. We've got to keep it down at this time of year, else it's going to be a nightmare come spring. At least as new no-dig beds are still intact, we can forget about them until next year now. And then that's a few more plants I've got on here. Those onions aren't doing very good. They seem to have stopped trying, and we're getting lots of that falling from trees above us. Spinach is exactly the same, growing very slowly. And then we've got his baby beets. I mean, to be fair, all this stuff that's dropping down, it is making like a mulch around his plants. But so far, I can only see a little beetroot there that's growing. If we can get them a bit bigger than that and round, they'll do. But the plants don't look brilliant. The only thing that seems to be coping with this weather is that T-Rex. That just gets bigger every time we look at it. And then we've got this random container that I put spring onions in. They're trying, that's all I can say about them. But as lettuce, just keeps rotting. It's too damp for it. We've got one there that might make some. That's about it for those. Apart from a massive clean up and moving things around garden, ready for new season, there's not much more. But looking at this container a little bit closer, you can see just everything just keeps falling down, and we have got quite a bit of yellowing on these tops now. I know there's some really small ones in here, but you never know what size you're going to get until you pull them up. So I'm just going to take one out of here. Baby carrot, at the moment. And they've all been thinned out, so there's plenty of room to grow. If I can get a couple of bags of those baby carrots, they're perfect for us autumn winter stews. Let's try another one. Just one. Again, it's not massive, but it's a little bit bigger than that other one we just took out. I think it's definitely a case of just leave them. Wait till all them tops completely die back. Surely the roots below are going to put on a bit more size. And as you've just seen, we have got baby carrots a couple of inches long. And if that's all we get from that container, then that's good enough for me, because it'll still provide us with a few meals. Meanwhile, they'll be growing until hopefully next spring, when we'll get bigger carrots out of there. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts at the moment. Do you take small cabbages? Do you wait for big ones? We took all the big ones, we left the small ones, and now we're kind of like this, shall we bother? But if I could put together 4 baby cabbages and make up a couple of bags of cabbage to freeze, it's still worth doing. Something is always better than nothing. And if I get a full container of baby carrots, so be it. We've got others to back us up for later on. Meanwhile, we're going to crack on with this work outside and make that brassica area all nice and tidy and ready for those plants going in next spring. Everything is definitely growing very slowly. We've just got to go with that and hopefully get a little bit of summer before we get that snow and really bad frosts as well, which usually stops pretty much everything dead in its tracks. You can still put winter onions in. You can still plant broad beans, they're very cold hardy. You can do cabbages and cauliflowers over winter if you want to. I'm not bothering this year. But if you've got some seedlings of a good size, don't let them go to waste. Just put them in, chuck a net over and see what happens. But once again, that's about it for today. I'm going to get back out there this afternoon and see what we can do, because I think we've got a bit of rain coming up in the next few days. So while ever it's dry, get out there, get done what you can, and then it's going to be a lot less of a burden come spring 2024. If you're interested in seeing what other things we're going to be doing between now and Christmas, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.